there any effort on the part of your team to secure this money through another country, Saudi Arabia or Russia, as Joy Behar seems to think?
Well, there's rules and regulations that are public. I can't speak about strategy that require certain things.
I'm sorry. What?
Welcome to What Was That? I'm Gabe Sanchez. As Donald Trump's financial lifelines dry up and he sheds his crocodile tears, the prospect of him meeting his $454 million bond obligation is increasingly bleak. And now it seems that Donald Trump is so desperate for cash that he might take money from a foreign country.
What is going on?
For years, we've been told by Trump and others that he is rich, and not just rich, but really rich.
Here's the good news. I'm very rich. I don't need anybody's money. It's nice. I'm really rich.
I'm the most successful person ever to run.
Fortunately, I'm very rich. So I have a total net worth, and now with the increase, it'll be well over $10 billion. I'm not doing that to brag, because you know what? I don't have to brag. I don't have to, believe it or not.
Last year in April, Donald Trump told everyone during a campaign speech that he doesn't need banks and that he has a lot of cash.
I don't need banks. We have a lot of cash.
Yeah, so much cash that he then had to beg people for money. And then, almost a year later on Super Tuesday, Trump said again that he has a lot of cash.
We have a lot of cash, and we have a great company, but they want to take it away.
But Trump made these statements in public, so he could be lying like he always does. Sorry, what's that? Trump said that under oath during a deposition?
I don't need the money. You probably see the cash. We have a lot of cash. I believe the brand is worth more than all of the properties put together. If I wanted to show you a good statement, I would have added maybe $10 billion or something for the brand. We have a lot of cash. I believe we have substantially in excess of $400 million cash.
Well, this now begs the question, does Trump actually have over $400 million in cash, or was Trump lying? Did he just perjure himself?
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
Now, if there's anyone who would know about Trump's finances, it's his future ex-wife, Alina Habba.
My goodness. So Judge Engoron says that he wants this $350 million within 30 days. Now, I know that you're planning on appealing this, but you've still got to put up the full amount pending that appeal. Does Donald Trump have that kind of money sitting around?
Yes. I mean, he does. Of course, he has money. You know, he's a billionaire. We know that.
Okay, Trump is a billionaire, but he also grifts people for money all the time, so we can never be too sure.
The New York Post speculated that maybe Trump's going to have to get creative with properties because we know Trump's a billionaire, but a lot of his money is tied up in real estate. The Post writing that he's got properties in Manhattan, Westchester, and the Hudson Valley, even his iconic $348 million Trump Tower, which, by the way, I think that's undervaluing Trump Tower, could be on the chopping block. Do you see that happening over the next 25 days?
No. No.
So he'll just write a check, Alina?
I'm not going to get into privileged information, but there will be a bond and there will be no issues with that. So that's all I'll say on that.
But you know what? Something is telling me that we can't trust these people, so let's see what she said over on Fox News.
They know by looking at his statements of financial condition that this guy is worth a lot of money, billions and billions of dollars. And that didn't even include his brand, Martha.
Okay, it's settled. Trump is worth billions and billions and billions, which means he has plenty of money to cover the $454 million bond. Wait, hold on, they lied?
Breaking news just coming into CNN right now. Attorneys for former President Donald Trump say they're unable to get a bond to pay the $464 million fraud judgment, calling it, I'm quoting now, a practical impossibility. CNN's Kara Scannell is joining us from New York right now. Kara, what can you tell us? Walk us through what this means.
So Trump's lawyers have informed the appeals court today that they are unable to get anybody, an insurance company, an underwriter, to help them post this bond, the $454 million for Trump alone, the rest to cover his sons. And what they say is that they've approached 30 insurance underwriters, some of these big, gigantic companies that you know, and they say that none of them are willing to do it. As you said, they're calling it a practical impossibility. You know, one of the reasons that they say is an issue here is that some of these insurance companies have internal limits that they won't issue a bond for more than $100 million. And some of the biggest names that you can think of in the insurance world also will not underwrite a bond and take property, which is what Trump has to put up. They want cash, they want securities, stocks, bonds, something that is what's a liquid, easy to sell asset. They don't want property.
Well, I wish I could say that I didn't see this hilariously pathetic moment coming. Here's the thing, Donald Trump made his bed and now he's gonna have to lie in it. And speaking of beds, I want to thank today's sponsor, Miracle Made. Did you know that your temperature at night can have one of the greatest impacts on your sleep quality? If you ever wake up too hot or too cold, then I highly recommend you check out Miracle Made's bed sheets. Inspired by NASA, Miracle Made uses silver-infused fabrics and makes temperature-regulating bedding so that you can sleep at the perfect temperature all night long. Using silver-infused fabrics inspired by NASA, Miracle Made sheets are thermo-regulating and designed to keep you at the perfect temperature all night long, so you get better sleep every night. These sheets are infused with a silver that prevent up to 99.7% of bacterial growth, leaving them to stay cleaner and fresh 3 times longer than other sheets. No more gross odors. Miracle sheets are luxuriously comfortable without the high price tag of other luxury brands, and they feel as nice, if not nicer, than bed sheets used by some 5-star hotels. Stop sleeping on bacteria. Bacteria can clog your pores, causing outbreaks and acne. Sleep clean with Miracle. Go to trymiracle.com/Gabe to try Miracle sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you can save over 40%. And if you use our promo Gabe at checkout, you'll get 3 free towels and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. Upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/Gabe and use the code Gabe to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40%. Again, that's trymiracle.com/Gabe to treat yourself. Thank you, Miracle Made, for sponsoring this episode. Now, I know I'm not the only one laughing at Trump.
Is Letitia James gonna just...
Do you need a tissue?
I don't know if I'm laughing or crying.
Here, try to wipe the tears.
I
don't
will.
see any real tears.
Well, there's tears inside me. But is Letitia James gonna go, put a chain on Trump Tower?
Yeah.
And take it away from him?
She said that. He doesn't have the money. Nobody wants to lend him the money, in this country anyway. Who knows what's going to happen with Russia and Saudi Arabia, because they know that he doesn't pay his bills back.
Joy Behar brings up a great point. Will a foreign country like Russia or Saudi Arabia come to Donald Trump's rescue? Well, let's see what Trump's incompetent lawyer, Alina Habba, has to say.
Is there any effort on the part of your team to secure this money through another country, Saudi Arabia or Russia, as Joy Behar seems to think?
Well, there's rules and regulations that are public. I can't speak about strategy that require certain things, and we have to follow those rules. Like I said, this is manifest injustice. It is impossible. It's an impossibility. I believe they knew that. I think that's why mid-trial, frankly, they changed their ask from $250 million to the ridiculous amount of money that they've asked for. I think everything is done intentionally. I do not doubt that the witch hunt, that the election interference goal is what was ringing steady and loudly and true throughout all these trials, frankly. And we're seeing it. It's the demise of our country, not the demise of Trump. So we'll handle it as we always have and keep our heads up and keep working hard.
In case you're wondering how to answer that question, it's with a big fat
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Honestly, my greatest fear is that a foreign country will come in at the final hour to save Donald Trump's ass. And the thought of that should scare the shit out of you. A presidential candidate like Donald Trump being indebted to a foreign country is not something we need, and definitely not something that any American should be okay with.
The real problem that we as Americans need to be watching is where the money, if at all, comes from. Is it going to come from Qatar? Is it going to come from Saudi Arabia? Could it come through some back channel oligarch from Russia? If in fact that happens, just think about the danger that Donald Trump is putting America and our national security at risk.
And now, in the dumbest move by Donald Trump, he went on a Truth Social to yell in all caps about having almost $500 million in cash. Alright, outside of the fact that I almost had an aneurysm reading that, Donald Trump single-handedly destroyed any defense that he had about not being able to secure the full $454 million bond. So which is it? Do you have the money or not, Trump?
Well, we're waiting.
The answer is, he doesn't have that money. He's just using that to grift his supporters. Also, if anyone still thinks that Trump is a billionaire, here's a story from his own daughter, Ivanka Trump.
I remember once my father and I were walking down Fifth Avenue, and there was a homeless person sitting right outside of Trump Tower. And I think I was probably maybe 9, 10, something like this. It was around the same time as the divorce. And I remember my father pointing to him and saying, you know, that guy has $8 billion more than me, because he was in such extreme debt at that point, you know?
And it's really telling that years later and hundreds of millions of dollars richer, Ivanka or her husband Jared won't give Trump a cent to cover the $454 million. And it really tells you a lot when Trump wannabe Vivek Ramaswamy won't give Trump any money either.
So you would think about the money thing, but you're not doing it now.
I'm going to be a vocal supporter, Neil.
But I think the funniest part is how Republicans are crying over the fact that no one will loan Trump money even though they won't do it themselves. And now Letitia James is coming for Trump whether he likes it or not.
Authorities have now taken their first steps and what the state attorney general in New York says she is ready to do. Here's Aaron Katursky.
Tonight, the pressure growing on Donald Trump as New York Attorney General Letitia James takes the first step towards seizing some of his assets if he can't meet Monday's deadline to post his $464 million bond. James filing documents to lay the groundwork to take over his golf course in a large estate in Westchester County.
Well, that's all for me today. Thanks so much for watching, and feel free to follow me at I Am Gabe Sanchez. And if you like today's episode and want to contribute, you can subscribe to my Patreon at patreon.com/IamGabeSanchez. Over there, you'll get early access to episodes, bonus content, and exclusive merch. So until next episode, I'm Gabe Sanchez, and this has been What Was That?